Hey, how's it going? Pro level forehand against amateur level forehand. Let's start with the ready position. So as we take a closer look to the pro level ready position, notice my base is wide. My feet are wider compared to my shoulders. So definitely at pro level players are ready physically. So they have athletic stance and their eyes are locked to their opponent. And they are watching their opponent as a hawk. They are staring at the ball and also they are staring at their opponent. So they gather information about their opponent. Is their opponent in balance or off balance? So they are ready to receive the upcoming ball. So at the pro level, the time factor is critical. You need to be ready. You need to have an athletic stance to the split and the quick first move because you have definitely less time between the shots. You need to be ready. So the one thing is being ready physically, and you need to also be ready mentally. So you need to have that mental alertness, be ready to move, to react early enough. When we take a closer look, how is the amateur tennis player in ready position, you rarely see the split step or the proper ready position. And I'm talking about the amateur player who is played like 6 months up to a year, who hasn't taken any tennis lessons. Just an amateur player who plays for fun. You rarely see the split step, the energy here, the quick first step. So typical amateur player is not close to the ground. Maybe he's like walking when his opponent hits the ball. As we talk about the hitting part, pros typically do their unit turn early, so they have more time to complete the full swing. And definitely they are doing their unit turn as early as they can, as soon as they recognize it's the forehand. And the unit turn, you need to have both hands on the racket during that unit turn part. So amateur players are just taking the racket back with their arm. But pro players are definitely using their whole body as a unit to turn. And the good reference point is your shoulder is touching your chin and your head stays still. Now important part is definitely pros are using their non-hitting hand. First, they are holding the racket with their non-hitting hand. The second part is taking the racket back with two hands, not releasing their non-hitting hand too soon. Now they are using their non-hitting hand for the balance and for the spacing reasons. And the last part, they are using their non-hitting hand to catch the racket. It depends on the style, of course. But amateur players are taking the racket back with their dominant hand, and their non-dominant hand just rests here, basically doing nothing. So after the unit turn, pro players are really good at storing energy, using the kinetic chain in a proper way. So loading their feet and their upper body before they explode, before they fire with their hips and upper body. Amateur players take the racket back, maybe they get sideways, maybe not. It's all inconsistent for them. Amateur players are not so good at storing their energy before the forward swing. They might get sideways, they might not, but the whole swing is too much arm dependent. Their arm gets too much work and their upper body rotation gets too little work. As we talk about the racket take-back part, the pro players are not generally taking too much backswing, especially when the speed of the rally is too fast. You don't have that huge backswing. So you will get sideways and pretty much drop the racket here and accelerate through. The amateur players want to take too much backswing and very little follow-through. So it looks like this for the amateur players. Huge backswing, making the contact too close to the body and finishing also too close to the body. All the pro players are using the whip effect on their forehand. So the racket is like in this position. It's not like letter C when you're hitting the shot. The racket is here like inverted and the elbow is high. And you just drop the racket here. It's really loose. The grip is really loose. And now with the hip rotation, the racket does the whip effect. The racket tip is the last part to accelerate. I seriously love that feeling. So amateur players can get sideways, but now they are using too much hand with their forward swing, not so much with the leg drive and the hip rotation into the shot. So it's basically the arm is going to the solo mission, and also the arm, unfortunately, is too tight. The hand is too tight, and the grip also is too tight. As we talk about the point of contact, the pro player's contact zone is not so big. It decreases compared to the amateur level forehand. The contact zone might be in front, might be here, might be really back. The contact zone is so much bigger for the amateur player. Also, the height of the contact is too high or too low. It's too big here. But the pro level's contact zone is much smaller. They're able to hit in front most of the times, and definitely they have a proper spacing. So from inside to outside. So you swing from inside to outside, so you have more space. As we talk about the proper follow-through, most of the amateur players are not finishing properly. Sometimes they decelerate before the contact, and the hand just breaks down here too soon, and there's a lot of tension at the end of the shot. But the pro level forehand accelerates through the contact and just relaxes at the end. The proper follow-through is just a byproduct of all the good things happening at the swing phase. And definitely pro-level forehands are struck way more with the sweet spot because they're making the contact more in front. They can see the ball better. They have to turn their head less in order to make a good contact. Compared to the amateur players, the pros have definitely much better reception skills. That means they can figure out the position way early. So they get into the proper hitting position, and it feels much more natural to have a good swing on the ball. So when the player is out of position, it tries to compensate with the body movement, and your balance goes off the way. But when you have a proper positioning, everything is much more better for the balance. So you don't fall off when you hit the ball. And because pros are hitting with lots of spin, it gives lots of insurance that their shots are going in. They can hit high over the net. They can create better angles. Now the third part, let's talk about the recovery. Amateur players, when they hit their shot, are spending too much time in one place. There's no recovery. And most of the times, they don't have a clue where to recover. But at the pro level, when they hit their forehand cross-court shot, they see the ball is going cross-court. They already start to recover back to the proper position. So overall, the pros are closer to the ground, and they definitely have more explosive power. Their core is definitely stronger. They're able to be more balanced. Definitely they are moving faster. They are using their whole body, and their grip is so much looser compared to the amateur player. I think those are the main differences. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. I will see you soon. Take care.